Alright, well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. I think it's time for yet another one of the PankzTV Daily Casts. Specifically, today is Daily Cast number 5. It is going to be yet another pub match from the Dota 2 Cast It subreddit. This one tonight going to be featured and brought to you by Secret Weapons. Thanks to his post, this is going to happen, and without further ado, but anyway, just to highlight this, the Daily Cast channel agenda will be at the end of the Daily Cast today, not the beginning, so we're going to hop in right away into our match. This is an all-pick match, and already we do have Clinks and Spiritbreaker getting picked up, but I'll cover more of that after the draft happens. For now, sit back and enjoy the draft.
Slog.
Alright, so that was your early morning draft, because it's so early morning, it's actually 6:30 PST, so not so early morning. But either way, over on the Radiant side of things, our player is going to be Gordost, Cuban Pete, Superman, Fly, and Medicated. Over on the Dire side of things, Florida, Zedqua, Fantast, Secret Weapons, and Trickster here to represent. And over on the Radiant side, their heroes, Axe going to be representing, Clinks as Cuban Pete, No One as Superman as of yet, Fly as Slark, and Medicated on Timbersaw. Over on the Dire side of things, Florida going to be playing Lion, Zedqua on Omni Knight, going to have Fantast on their Spiritbreaker, Bristleback as well, Secret Weapons, and Trickster on Shadow Fiend. As per the team composition, it looks like final pickup going to be a Windrunner on Superman. As to how I like the team composition, well, it's kind of an interesting one looking at both
30
sides.
seconds to battle.
Now, why it's interesting, there's a question. Looking over at the Radiant side of things, I'd be wondering because they have Windrunner as their support, and she's going to be playing a very hard support right now because they're going to have a Slark and a Timbersaw, and it looks like Timber's actually mid right now. Not an uncommon one to have a Timbersaw mid lane. Meanwhile, Slark going to be running around, going to be their off lane by the looks of things. Down in bot lane, Cuban Pete going to be representing as their hard... Oh, maybe not. Going to be representing anyway. Axe down there as well. Now coming to reinforce, going to be that Windrunner. It's going to be a tri-lane against dual lanes by the look of things. Lion going to be acting as support with Bristleback down here. Rune pickup in the top, going to be a Slark with a haste rune going in very deep immediately. He's already blocked the pull camp with a lovely ward, now going right into the lane here. Oh, is he going to pull the wave? He's just harassing as much as he can, and yes, he is going to pull the creep wave right out of the lane. A smart move to make, especially when you have that haste rune. No worries. Coming around is Omni Knight looking to catch him out, but that's simply not going to happen here. Slark's able just to turn directions and not even going to catch him. Meanwhile, down in bot, the harassment of Bristleback already starting, and that's going to be an interesting lane. Bristleback is nigh on impossible to kill as long as he's running away from you, unless you get a good few stuns off on him, so... As long as he does what he needs to do and stays facing backward to them, it's going to be very hard to kill him, though it is two ranged heroes against that Bristleback. Lion, in the meantime, is going to have to play around with Axe here. And he's actually going to get pushed out of lane very quickly, such is the detriment of being Lion in this situation. Lion is more of the hazard than Bristleback is. Bristle's going to have an immense amount of survivability as soon as he gets some levels here, which he's already working on doing. Right now, the game is realistically just denying XP to that Bristleback. The more XP Windrunner and Clinks can deny, the better off they're going to be going into the laning. Of course, they can't deny all of that XP, so Bristle's going to be getting a little bit of farm no matter what you do to him. Already the damage reduction is beginning. Meanwhile, Pounce comes out from Slark trying to kill that Shadow Fiend. That could be a big pickoff, but he's just unable to get the damage he needs, even with Dark Pact and the Pounce. It's going to injure Shadow Fiend rather immensely, but simply not enough. And now we do have Purification come in from Omni Knight onto the Shadow Fiend and heal him up just a little bit more. No salve on this Shadow Fiend, so he's left with tangos already. Thankfully, it looks like Omni Knight, not only does he have Dust, he actually has a salve on him to give the Shadow Fiend if need be. So, support doing his job up in the safe lane. Meanwhile, mid lane, Spirit Breaker facing off against a Timbersaw, and this in itself can be a very interesting mix-up, and I'm not going to say mix-up, just a very interesting lineup, because of what it is. It's a Timbersaw and a Spirit Breaker. One wrong move and the Timbersaw could get a kill on this Spirit Breaker, but then again, if Spirit Breaker uses Charge of Darkness, he's going to be out of there faster than Timbersaw can Timber Chain, and faster than Timbersaw can say bye. And back in bot lane, Pull Camp was denied by the Magic Bush, actually, meaning Axe is going to be out of farm for a little bit. Oh, that arrow from Windrunner, very nicely played to use the power shot in that situation, and the burning arrows from Clinkz going to seal the deal on the kill there. Absolutely well played, going after the Lion rather than the Bristleback, who already has 24% back damage reduction. I mean, that's an immense amount of damage that's just getting taken off his backside, and that's why Bristleback is so hard to kill. Meanwhile, Timbersaw starting to flex his muscles in that mid lane. His reactive armor already starting to rear its ugly head. It's going to make him very hard to deal with as Spirit Breaker. On the other hand, no, Spirit Breaker does have that greater bash, and as soon as he feels safe, he's going to start charging, and that's what Spirit Breaker is going to be dangerous for. Now, in comes Omni Knight, though. Looks for the flank on Slark. Is simply not going to happen. And realistically, these lanes, both are going quite well. Clinkz is getting his farm, Shadow Fiend's getting his farm. Shadow Fiend is actually out-farming Clinkz by a small degree, I mean, an infinitesimal degree for that matter. Wards, though, wards are the ones making the differences. I love this ward placement. They have the Pull Camp blocked, and they have not only a lot of the river, but they also have mid lane warded because of this. The rune is spotted by that, so it's very nicely done. This is actually a very offensive ward, too. Covers rune, lots of river, and it also covers a little bit up over here and down into the jungle as well. So that ward covering quite a bit, but they also have the Magic Bush covered here, and that's going to give them immaculate jungle vision. They see X, they see the camp, they see everything. And actually it looks like this ward may have been just a little bit off. It might not have blocked this camp. Oh, he realizes it now that that was indeed blocked, and it is successfully blocked for that matter. He's just going to rotate over here, and they could have blocked this if they really felt like it. And it still would have given them good river vision and ward vision if they died, basically. So, just situational wards. Bristleback can take a little bit more damage. Almost going down, actually. This might be the end of him if Clinkz can catch up. He's trying to. One arrow comes out, and it will be enough. The flame damage from Clinkz just enough to kill the Bristleback off there, and that's going to get Bristle out of lane for the time he needs him out. That's going to give Clinkz just a little bit more time to farm. But besides that, it's also going to give a second kill to that lane, specifically Windrunner and Clinkz, who are now just soaking up that XP, and that's what they need in this situation, is to be soaking up that XP. Up in top lane, Shadow Fiend is actually out-farming him for the time being. He has 9 denies and 26 regular just last hits, and comparatively, Timbersaw is the only one actually keeping up, and in the meantime, Charge of Darkness didn't come out, and Timbersaw was able to get the Timber Chain off onto the Spirit Breaker there, and will confirm that kill, making it 3-0 now in favor of the Radiant early on, and that means that this is going to be Timbersaw not only controlling this mid lane, but he's going to go into this mid game with a lot of farm from this mid lane. I mean, looking at this, he has almost double the CS Spirit Breaker does, and as a mid, that's simply not what you're looking for. You lost that lane rather hard. And it's going to mean that this safe lane for the Dire is going to be their saving grace. Shadow Fiend and Omni Knight, specifically Shadow Fiend, he's going to go into mid game and he's going to become very scary, especially once he gets his Requiem of Souls. Meanwhile, Lion is doing his job and pulling that wave. This is actually slightly reversed. Usually you have the melee hero go and pull so the ranged can stay in lane and support the carry. But in this instance, they're going to reverse it, and I'm guessing that's because of Omni Knight's repel and because of his purification. His ability to deny so much damage to the carry is probably going to give the carry more survivability than Lion's Impale and Lion's ability to be in lane. And actually, it's Earthspike, not Impale. That's next, but that's beside the point. It's basically Impale. Come on.
Dire's middle tower is under
Either
attack.
way, Lion is going to get caught out by the Slark here, who's going to immediately run into an invisible Spirit Breaker, and Spirit Breaker is just going to decide, no, not a good time to go in against the Slark, who does have his Shadow Dance now, so he's going to start running at an insane run speed, and his health regeneration is going to be through the roof. This is going to be one of those situations where this is why Slark is scary to play against, because he can run into your jungle, gank someone, and then by the time you find him again, he's already full health. Mana is going to be Slark's problem going into mid-game. He's simply going to be a one-time wonder until he can get some more mana. And then once he gets that mana, he's just going to... I mean, he'll be in your jungle 99% of the time, and he will laugh every time he catches one of you and brutally murders you. The one problem with this right now is Slark is a melee hero against a Shadow Fiend. He's going to have lots of trouble actually getting into the lane to get whatever farm he can. Spirit Breaker going to rotate down bot and trying to assist the Bristleback here, and that's simply not going to happen. He is going to get taken down. But Bristle, though, he doesn't exactly need that much help at this point. He has 32% damage reduction on his backside. Killing the Bristle is now not a very simple thing. In all honesty, they have denied him quite a bit of farm. This is a level 7 Clinks against a level 5 Bristleback, so...
Dire's middle tower is under
And
attack.
these kills are starting to flow in. This time in mid lane, Lion's going to get caught out by a rotation from the Radiants. They're going to go right into their mid lane, and... Oh, I'm sorry, you thought you were okay? Charge of Darkness coming in, though. He's going to find the Timbersaw, but can he simply do enough damage? Nope, he's just going to Charge of Darkness into the lane. Chakram comes out. Are we going to see Whirling Death? There's Whirling Death. Now Timbersaw going to back off. He's already dealt a ton of damage to Spirit Breaker, and that means he's going to force him back in that lane. It's going to give him just a little bit more lane control, and his Chakram and Whirling Death already back up again. So Timbersaw in a great position in this mid lane. Slark gonna come in though. Pounce comes out. There's the Death Pact. Well, Dark Pact, not Death Pact. Axe just rotates, and he's not even needed. Timbersaw gets the final kill on Spirit Breaker there. And either way, that's just another kill. It is 7-0 right now in favor of the Radiant. Chakram coming out to clear that wave just a little bit faster. And already, the XP and gold difference probably going to start rearing its head. Gold's already 3,000, 5,000 XP. And indeed, this is where, when you're the Dire, you're going to be looking at this situation and Axe just barely missed that Lion right there. That could have gone very poorly if that Lion had been caught out. Now Axe going to rotate in behind the tower. Is he going to go just right? Yes, he is. And now this is going to be the game of Windrunner and Clinks trying to apply aggression here. Or are they going to try and catch on the Spirit Breaker? They see the Spirit Breaker. He charges by. He's still going by. In comes the Spirit Breaker. He hits the Clinks. He hits the Windrunner. Now Bristleback coming back in. There's the Shadow Strike. Or not the Nether Strike, excuse me. He gets temporarily shackled. In comes the power shot. Burning arrows from Clinks doing a ton of damage. Axe is still there. Battle Hunger comes out, chasing after the Bristleback. Will it be enough? Yes, Axe switches targets. He goes after the Spirit Breaker. He goes down. And in the meantime, Bristle was killed by that Battle Hunger, so... Certainly not a situation to get yourselves caught in. And in the meantime, Lion brings out the Earth Spike, trying to stay alive here. In comes Omni Knight, gonna support him. Pounce from Slark, gonna catch out the Omni Knight. Shadow Dance gets popped, it's right under tower, doesn't gonna do anything. Repel and Purification comes out. Now just trying to stay alive. Klink's gonna take that bot T1 tower. Timbersaw rotating back in, gonna cut off the Lion from rotating back to the base. Timber Chain's right on top of the tower. Out comes Chakram. In comes the Pounce from Slark, and the Whirling Death from Timbersaw going to kill going to confirm the kill there. And now the mid T2 tower going to take some aggression here from Timbersaw.
Radiant's top tower
Accusations
is under
of
attack.
feeding actually coming out. Not something you see too commonly, at least in my
Radiant
experience, not
structures
something you
are
see
fortified.
too commonly. Perhaps a little bit of a team quarrel happening there. Spirit Breaker
Dire's
not
middle
feeling like he's
tower
getting
is
any
under
assistance
attack.
in lane, and in all fairness, I mean, Bristleback, he can do damage, but only if he's the one
top
running
tower
away.
is under attack.
Usually the good old motto of don't try to kill Bristleback when he's running away is a very accurate statement, because when you try and kill Bristleback when he's running away, it generally means you're not going to
Radiant's
very
top
good
tower
time.
has fallen.
Shadow Fiend rotates in, he gets pounced on by Slark. Shadow Blade gets popped, he almost gets the Requiem off, but Culling Blade from Axe going to take him down, and a buyback from Shadow Fiend just to get himself back in the game here. 11-0 in favor of the Radiant. This is starting to look very bad. Windrunner rotates in mid. Timbersaw trying to do as much damage as he can. Spirit Breaker getting caught out by the Chakram. Goes after the line. Chakram barely hitting him, and now he throws it out one more time. There's the Timber Chain. Misses the tree ever so slightly. He's going to rotate off with that Haste Rune, and now he's trying to run around the tower, trying to catch out that the Spirit Breaker. Now in he comes. Mana Boot's going to get popped. Can he do anything about this? Nope. He's not going to try and dive high ground here. So Timbersaw is just going to back off. But in the meantime, mid lane's getting pushed.
Dire's
Windrunner
middle
and
tower
Axe
is
coming in
under
here.
attack.
Tower's going to start taking some aggression. And up in top lane, Shadow Fiend's having to deal with a Slark, and that's not a very easy thing to deal with until you get enough levels in XP that you can just murder him brutally. And the thing about Slark is he's an incredibly slippery hero, but as the match goes on, as this goes on longer and longer, he's not going to be as slippery. Bristleback gonna go all the way into the enemy jungle here. He gets caught out, but now in comes the charge from Spirit Breaker. He really wants this kill on Clinks. He's gonna hit him, but he's gonna have no capability to do so afterwards. He pops the dust. He's still going after him. Does he have another strike? No, another strike for another 1 second. He's gonna get caught up before he can even cast down. The Culling Blade for Max going to be kill affirmed there. And oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Spirit Breaker, he really should have canceled that TP before that happened, but that's simply not going to happen here. Finish being called by Bristleback, and Orchid coming out on Clinks. So as if Clinks wasn't deadly enough, now he has a silence to add on top of that. Timbersaw coming in, chasing after that line, pulls out the Chakram, gets the Whirling Death. Timber chains right through the Repel, but that's not going to do any damage. In comes the Shadow Fiend trying to silence this axe. Going after him very aggressively, just the raw DPS from Shadow Fiend. Now Shadow Blade gets popped, Urn comes out on the axe. Will it be enough? Shadow Fiend actually rotates the wrong direction, not going to be able to find him now. In comes Windrunner, going to be chasing after him, and the entire Dire team is pursuing through this jungle. Spirit Breaker leading the charge, going to be forced to back off now. Bristleback is going to continue farming the jungle, and in this situation, in comes the Slark. He's going to find a Bristleback here. Axe not far behind. Battle Hunger gets cast on the Bristleback, trying to fall back. Shadow Dance comes out from the Slark. In comes the Clinks as well. Power Shot just barely missing. Pounces trying to hit him, misses. And now Bristleback is going to be perfectly safe. In comes the charge from Spirit Breaker. Going to land on the Slark. Hex comes in from the Lion, pounces on the Spirit Breaker, trying to kill him. It's going to be enough at this rate. Dark Pact already came out on the Culling Blade from Axe. Kill affirmed. No buyback available for the Spirit Breaker. Not even going to use it if he even did have it. And now Clink's just going to kill the creep wave. Tower's going to start taking damage here. All of the Radiant going to rotate onto it here. And if you're the Dire right now, this is a very bad situation. Battle Hunger comes out on Omni Knight. Bloodstone coming out for Timbersaw. Pounce comes in from Slark and it landed. The Tether going to come out, but I mean, they're simply not going to go for the kill on Omni Knight. He's already on high ground. Chakram's so close to killing him actually, but it's simply not enough. Meanwhile, Glyph Fortification comes out trying to save that tower. Timbersaw going to just deal the last blow there. Actually, the creeps need the last blow. Now he Timber Chains right after the Bristleback. Dust comes out and Bristleback going to go after the Timbersaw actually. He goes in, pops the Quill Spray, backs off. Again, just trying to kite the Timbersaw as much as he can. Quill Spray comes out once again. There is the Tether Shot. Power Shot just barely going to miss. Shackle Shot, not. Either way, in comes the charging Spirit Breaker. He's continuing to charge. He's going after that Timbersaw. Is it going to be enough? He's very low on health. Actually, he's not anymore. The regen is crazy on this Timbersaw right now. In comes the Spirit Breaker. Illusion Rune gets popped. It denies the charge. No Greater Crash. Nether Strike comes out. Purification as well. Will it be enough? Timber Chain going to barely miss, but they changed target onto the axe. Is there a Culling Blade? Yes, there is. No Culling Blade. Timbersaw still trying to run away from him. An angry Spirit Breaker jukes him once again. Kites him actually, excuse me, and Spirit Breaker getting taken down by that Clinks. Timbersaw just surviving long enough that Clinks has time to rotate in, and the kites from Timbersaw keeping him alive against the Greater Bash from Spirit Breaker. Mid lane is almost completely gone. They're going to start applying aggression against the third tier tower. They haven't even killed, they've barely even done damage to the top T1 tower, nothing to top T2. Bot T2 not taking any damage either. They're just going straight for the win here. Bristleback going to run right in here, taking a lot of damage. Now trying to rotate his way out. The damage reduction doing him great things. Hex comes out from Lion. No Earth Spike as of yet, chasing after him. In comes the Spirit Breaker. Are they going to be able to do enough damage? Axe is still alive here. Berserker's Call comes out, dealing so much damage, trying to run away. Simply not going to be enough, and his wicked sick kill streak going to get ended by the Omni Knights. Counter Helix just not enough to keep him alive. Spirit Breaker and Omni Knight both right here looking to make this happen. Chakram going to miss the Spirit Breaker, comes back in with the damage. Whirling Death now. The arrows from Clinks dealing so much damage. Clinks doesn't even need to hit him again. Shadow Fiend comes in here trying for the kill on Timbersaw. Out comes his spells. He's trying to hit him. Clinks with the final hit though. The release of souls, not a good thing right now if you're a Spirit Breaker. Oh no, Shadow Fiend, excuse me. Why did I say Spirit Breaker? If you're a Shadow Fiend. His Shadow Rays going to miss that second one ever so slightly. In comes the Bristleback trying to deal whatever damage he can. The damage reduction of his back giving him a lot of health and resistance here. Tower is dealing damage. Lion going to get silenced by Clinks by the man, or just going to get silenced by Clinks. In comes Spirit Breaker. He gets picked up though. Yule Scepter of Divinity so useful in these situations. Finger of Death comes out from Lion. Windrunner going to go down. Nether Strike from Spirit Breaker trying to take down the Axe. It does barely any damage at all. Bristleback needs to rotate out now. Timber Chain latching onto the one tree available. Chakram comes out, chasing after that Bristleback, but you don't chase a Bristleback. He has survivability out the yin-yang. Now they rotate back around mid, looking to do whatever damage they can.
Dire's top tower is under
Instead, their
attack.
own creep wave going to get pushed back by that tower while the Dire wave rotates down to the middle of nowhere. Where are you going, creeps? And instead, they're just going to rotate off, and they're going to push to the jungle. I mean, they're going to farm the jungle temporarily.
Is under attack.
They already have Windrunner down here, going to be pushing out bot lane, and meanwhile, mid, Link's going to take a little bit of damage, but he has Skeleton Walk. What can you really do to him at the moment? It's a Lynx with Skeleton Walk. Good luck killing him. Counter Helix coming out from X. They're chasing after him. Dust comes out. Klink's taking a lot of damage. Skeleton Walk now mute. Orchid going to come out onto the Spirit Breaker. It's simply not enough buyback from Klink's. Going to bring him back very quickly. It's 21-5 right now. There's a 10,000 gold advantage, a 15,000 XP advantage. And right now, the Radiant are definitely controlling this, but the Dire are looking to turn this pace around. They got a good team fight out of that, and, I mean, the Radiant just gave them too much time to think. Now, Axe comes in from behind. Counter Helix gets popped. He gets Earth Spiked by Lion. In comes the Nether Strike, actually, from Spirit Breaker just to kill Confirm there. And he's going to go down, dropping like a rock. Axe actually going to disconnect for a moment. No pause. Shackle Shot comes out. Power Shot not far behind. Purification comes out from Mummy Knight. Bristleback, not a problem whatsoever. He turns back around, and all the damage from Klinks and Windrunner are now just mute. Doesn't even matter that it just happened. It just got completely nullified.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Klinks gets a Skeleton Walk and goes right by them. Finds the Lion. There's the Orchid Malevolence coming out. Now Lion's trying to get away so much damage, though. In comes Spirit Breaker. Charge of Darkness going right by them. Lands onto the Windrunner. Turns back around for the Klinks. Klinks taking a lot of damage. Dust comes out, getting slowed down by the goo from Bristleback, but it's even Shackle Shot going to save him temporarily. In comes the Shadow Fiend, though. Going to kill Confirm there, and in the meantime, Timbersaw took down the T2 tower up in that top lane. Axe reconnecting now. Both teams down one player right now, but the Creep Wave is pushing this bot T1 tower. Shadow Fiend coming in. And this is where the situation is going to start rearing its ugly head. Well, either way, in comes Spirit Breaker. Charge of Darkness landing on the Windrunner. Windrun going to save her temporarily, trying to run back around, juking around the trees. NTP Slark, the other strike comes down. No pounce as yet, instead just Dark Pact. Axe comes in as well. There's the pounce. And Culling Blade going to get the kill affirmed onto the Spirit Breaker. Almost a good engagement, but Shadowfiend getting picked up by the Yule Scepter, trying to get out of there. Out comes the Dust. He Shadow Blades, but it's simply not enough, and Shadowfiend is going to get taken down by Slark in that situation. Another 2 kills. That's 24-7 now in favor of the Radiants. And I can't help but point out, other than the fact that Timbersaw is going to get way too aggressive and get picked out by Lion, I just can't help but point out the fact that the Radiant have a Slark, and they have a Klinks. But that's compared to a Shadow Fiend and a Spirit Breaker. Okay, so going into late game, this is the thing. Shadow Fiend's going to be the harder carry than Klinks, and Slark, as the game progresses, as this goes on, Slark is going to become less and less slippery, and that's what Slark relies upon. He relies upon his slipperiness to keep him alive, and late game, that's simply not going to be there. A lot of his potential to survive is simply going to get nullified. Bristleback turning back around. He wants to fight this, but he's a Bristleback. He needs not to fight this. Now they are going to get chased off. Battle Hunger coming out. Axe going to get picked up by the Yule Scepter. Spirit Breaker turns back around. Purification can heal up. He charges right onto the Axe. Hex comes out from Lion. Axe taking a lot of damage. Guardian Angel comes out from Omni Knight. Shackle Shot going to take him to a tree. Windrunner trying to run away, but Goo coming out from that. Or Goop coming out from the Bristleback. Now Klinks caught on the high ground. Dust is already out on him. Gets Earth Spiked by the Lion, taking a lot of damage. He's cornered. He can't even get out. Skeleton Wheel going to barely save him. Isn't enough. No, Chakram with the kill confirmed. Meanwhile, Slark came back in, going after the Bristleback. Bad situation to get yourself into. Trying to stay alive. Shadowfiend chasing after him. Going to pounce his way out of that. Meanwhile, Timbersaw just dealing raw damage. Now Spirit Breaker turns right back around, trying to run actually towards the Radiant side of the river. Timbersaw going to Timber Chain onto a tree, misses slightly. Chakram comes out. He's not close enough. He's running away. He's low on health. Out comes Shadow Race. He pounces onto the Omni Knight. Culling Blade from Axe for the kill confirmed. And now Axe himself getting taken down. Spiritbreaker going to die to the Axe as well. Actually, Battle Hunger just sealing the deal there. And now Slark trying to run away. But what can you do? Entire enemy team going at you. Goo from Bristleback. And that's kill confirmed. But now Timbersaw going to Timber Chain his way through the tree. Gets Timber chained onto the low ground. Actually, a very nice escape for a Timbersaw there. Now they just need to get out of this side of the river. No, he turns back around. What does he think he can do here? Oh, they're going after Shadow Fiend. He's low health. And indeed, he just goes in. Timber Chain right into Whirling Death. Instant death indeed for that Shadow Fiend, who does buyback, and that's a lot of gold being spent on buybacks this game. And now the final T2 tower for the Dire, taking a lot of damage. In comes a repelled Omni Knight, going to start chasing after the Windrunner. Switches target over to the Clinks, but a Charge of Darkness from Spiritbreaker coming in. Power shot, is it going to be enough? Here he comes. Skeleton Walk now down. Is there another strike? It is up, but he gets Jackal shot to the tree, and now Spiritbreaker just can't do anything. They're not going to pursue. And there's going to be no revenge for that Shadow Fiend. Looking at the gold, we're up to a 12,000 gold advantage for the Radiant, and the XP is actually slowly turning around. This is what I'm talking about. As we go into the mid-late game, and quickly there's a Spiritbreaker charge coming in here. Omni Knight there as well. He's going to Timber Chain himself onto the high ground. Spiritbreaker still pursuing. There's the the Charge of Darkness landing. Nether Strike comes out. He Timber Chains himself out of problem, and the Finger of Death comes out, but it's simply not enough. In comes Shadow Fiend, excuse me. He gets picked up by the Yule Scepter of Divinity. Now in comes Clanks. Dust comes out. Is it going to be enough? Omni Knight taking a lot of damage. No Guardian Angel. There comes the Guardian Angel protecting him from physical damage. In comes Timbersaw. Timber Chain happens. Hex comes out as well, trying to stay alive with so much damage, and he's just going to get taken down. A brutal combination and another buyback. This time Timbersaw buying back. There's so many buybacks in this game. The Radiant don't want to give them an inch of... they don't want to give them any breathing room, and the Dire don't want to lose any breathing room, so just the buybacks happening one after another here. And Timbersaw is already back in the mid lane, squaring off against Shadow Fiend. But again, I want to point out with the XP graph once again that this XP advantage is actually starting to turn around. And this is my point, is that although the Radiant had a great early game, although they took tower after tower, the later this game goes, the more deadly and the smaller the chance of victory there will be for the Radiants. This start turn, and it's actually turning into a falling graph at this point. The longer this goes on, the greater the disadvantage is going to be for the Radiant as Shadow Fiend starts getting farmed. Spiritbreaker gets a little bit more farm, and Bristleback, I don't even need to talk about Bristleback, because as we go into the late game, I'm sorry, you thought you could kill Bristleback early game. I'm sorry, you thought you could kill him mid game. Guess what? Try killing him late game. It's going to be an interesting thing to try and do. Boots of Travel actually already coming out. Oh, but in comes the Slark, pounced quickly by Dust, and boom, not even needed. Timbersaw just comes in. Timber Chain, whatever, I'll just Whirling Death, and kill confirmed on that Shadow Fiend. And this is exactly what you don't want. This is what you don't want if you are the Dire, to have your Shadow Fiend dying constantly. He has died so much. He has died 5 times. The only person who's died more than him is Spiritbreaker and Lion. And gee, as your carry, you don't want your carry dying that much. And looking over at the enemy team, Clanks has died a lot actually as well, so both carries dying quite a bit more than they should. Now, though, the Dire are just trying to maintain whatever map control they can. They have great jungle wards. They have a very defensive jungle ward. They have a very offensive jungle ward that they'll cover mid lane. It'll cover a good section of the jungle. What they don't have is rune vision or any river vision for that matter. And in order to get great map control, that's what they're going to need. They're going to need to purge the Radiant from their lower jungle. Oh, in comes Spiritbreaker very aggressively. Pouncing Slark barely misses. Earthspike comes out from Lion. Axe still going in here. Getting no counter. Helix is Timber Chain in. Lands right on. There's the Whirling Death as well. Earn on the Omni Knight. There comes the Guardian Angel. They turn right back around. Now going on to the Slark here. Slark taking so much damage. Double Dust coming out for both teams. Axe turning right around. Counter Helix coming out. Bristleback. There's that survivability we know. And Bristleback turning around, dealing so much damage. Omni Knight gets taken down by Clinks here. Spiritbreaker trying to stay in the fight. Shadow Fiend there as well. Timbersaw still there, pushing very aggressively. Bristleback now taking damage. Earthspike comes out from Lion once again. Charge of Darkness coming in from Spiritbreaker. Shadow Rays coming out very nicely for that Shadow Fiend. Gonna get the kill confirmed onto Axe here. They're gonna continue pushing right around. Windrunner running for her life as fast as she can, taking so much damage. She goes down, and now they're going right back around, finding that Klink's gonna follow after him. Out comes the Quill Spray. Goo, this is why Goo is deadly. You can't move, you can't go anywhere. And Klink's is gonna die very brutally. 4 players down for the Radiant. That engagement went about as terribly as it could. The Shadow Races were immaculate from Shadow Fiend. Bristleback just showed that this is why you don't try and kill a Bristleback. His survivability is insane. And then Spirit Breaker, I would say Spirit Breaker was the riskiest of them all, actually. Like, his Charge of Darknesses, they were great. They came in, they got the Greater Bash, but they were also very risky in the sense that he exposed himself on the front line. And Spirit Breaker right now, he has 1.5k health, but he doesn't have a lot of survivability other than that. He has some armor, and now he's got Chainmail, which is going to give him just that little bit more survivability. So either way, he charges onto the Timbersaw here, who Timber Chains to a tree, but it's simply not good enough. In comes the Omni Knight. Purification comes out, a lot of damage. Timbersaw committing suicide with the Bloodstone, actually. Very nicely played with that. Yule's Scepter comes out on the Shadow Fiend. They need to turn around. They need to protect him. They need to keep their Shadow Fiend alive. Purification comes out. Dust is going to come out as well, but the Culling Blade will give them the kill confirmed, releasing some of the souls on that Shadow Fiend. Still chasing. Omnia getting slowed down, popping the Repel on himself. Bristleback going to come out and then turn right back around, throwing out the goo on Slark. Slark has a heart right now. Killing Slark is not going to be easy. And that, I mean, that just goes along with his Shadow Dance regen. He's going to have an insane amount of regeneration combined with his ult. Now he has a heart. Oh dear.
Radiant's bottom tower
And the Radiant are
is
still
under
doing a
attack.
great job of applying a lot of aggression into this mid lane. They're keeping the Dire pinned in their base for the time being. But now the Dire, they do have Rune Vision. They have River Vision. They can see when people are entering mid lane through the jungle or through the river. And not only that, the only part they're missing is going to be their western jungle, but again, they have defensive jungle vision. So the Dire going into this late game, they're going to have they're going to have very good positioning. They're going to have a very good idea of where the enemy team is. And the XP graph, it's starting to look like a sine wave that is fully on the Radiant side of things. Gold is still staying up there. Windrun for Windrunner, keep her alive. Nether Strike comes out. Lion comes with Finger of Death. He should have Earth Spiked and then Fingered. And it still doesn't matter. Earth Spike comes out. The slowdown from the Greater Bash Spirit Breaker going to at least let them get back in there. Dust comes out, revealing the Klinks. Now the Axe comes in. Yule's Scepter going to pick him up. In comes Slark. He pounces onto the Omni Knight. Guardian Angel gets popped. He's still taking damage. He gets taken down by the Slark. In comes Axe. He's taking a lot of damage. Shadow Fiend is right there. Klinks is on the high ground trying to deal damage. Now in comes the Bristleback. The goo hits him. Spirit Breaker not far behind. Dark Pack going to purge the negative effects, but they're still going on the Klinks. Now Spirit Breaker charging. Where's he going? He goes onto the Timbersaw going the other way. Shadow Rays comes in. So much damage. BKB gets popped by the Timbersaw here. Timber changes way up. He's going to try for an emergency teleportation, and it works. Meanwhile, Slark comes back in on the bot side of this. Bristleback gonna have to run away now. It's a Shadow Dance Slark. Dust comes out, revealing both of them. Shadow Fiend is caught in the pounce. Now trying to run away. Angry Klinks is pursuing, but Bristleback and Spirit Breaker come in here. Klinks is still pursuing. He's going after the Shadow Fiend here. Can he catch up? Skeleton Walk gives him a great amount of mobility. Slark, on the other hand, not gonna be so lucky. He's gonna go down. And not only that, Klinks is gonna find out that no, he's gonna be unable to keep up with that Shadow Fiend. Oh, is he gonna go for it? Instead, he runs right by the Spirit Breaker here, and he's going to think better of it. He is just going to retreat and meet up with Timbersaw. But either way, it's 31-23, and the Dire are slowly closing this kill gap. And the more they do so, the wackier this XP graph is going to look going on. Right now, I mean, going into this is a situation as the Radiant you don't want to get yourself caught into. It's the 30-minute mark, and the longer this goes on, and by the 50-minute mark, I mean, I'm pretty sure this will just be GG, actually, for the Radiant. Like, by the 50-minute mark, I don't think they're going to be able to keep this up. They have a great amount of early game aggression with Slark and Klinks, and the problem is they just didn't make use of that, especially with Timbersaw. Anyway, in comes the Charge of Darkness from Spirit Breaker, going to land right on the Axe. Yule's Scepter going to pick him up. BKB gets popped on the Timbersaw, trying to deal as much damage as possible. In comes the souls from Spirit Breaker, or Shadow Fiend, I'm sorry. Windrunner going to get taken down. Finger of Death from Lion, kill confirmed. Now, Axe gets caught out. He gets hexed by Lion. He goes down. Bristleback actually running into the river here, pursuing the Klinks. And that is Requiem of Souls on Shadow Fiend, not just Souls, sorry. Spell names, they eluded me for whatever reason. Oh dear. Either way, I mean, the Dire are just making more and more room for themselves right now. They've cleared their side of the map. They're about to clear Timbersaw if they can. Instead, they're just going to push him out of lane. That means he's going to be forced back into their jungle. He might farm it for a moment. Actually, ow, he just missed that. He just missed that Timber Chain. And yet, he is going to rotate right into farming the jungle. Nothing wrong with that. Meanwhile, Slark mid lane going to pounce onto the Shadow Fiend, do a little bit of damage, but it's simply not going to be enough. Looks like he might be building... He could be building any of that. Lifesteal is going to be the name of the game for Slark, though, and Lifesteal is exactly what he needs. On the other hand, right now, Shadow Fiend has gotten his Sanj and Yasha, so he's going to be able to deal a lot of damage. And he's going to be able to slow you down while he deals that damage, too. Oh, Spirit Breaker. Is he going to get caught out by the Clinks here? Clink's going to turn around the other direction. This is going to be an interesting one. And it is going to be a Mask of Madness coming out on Slark. Yeah, is he about to get caught out? Clinks is right there. He is chasing. He finds the Shadow Fiend. Purification comes out on Spirit Breaker. That's not the Shadow Fiend, the Spirit Breaker. I don't know why I'm getting those two names mixed up. I'm sorry for that. My apologies. That ward. That's a beautiful ward. Either way, Slark going to be pushing mid lane here. He's got level 3 Shadow Dance now, so as long as you don't see him, which is going to take a few months, but there we go. He's a 504 run speed. His health regeneration is going to be through the bloody roof. And they're going to rotate down towards that bot lane. They're going to try and catch out, and then Omni Knight, indeed they do. Klink's going for the kill. Timbersaw comes from behind, rolling death with the kill confirmed. In comes the Charge of Darkness. He seizes and just turns around, figuring, I'm going to leave the Bristleback, because Bristleback might be pretty well doomed right now. Quill Spray comes out once again. Shackle Shot going to pin him in place. They turn into the front side. Culling Blade comes out, and that is kill confirmed, and a buyback from Bristleback, no less. 34-25 right now. They're pushing the T3. Spirit Breaker is right there. Entire team is right there for that matter. They can defend this. They know they can. Shadow Fiend doing so much damage to Timbersaw. Bristleback comes in. Shackle Shot going to pin him in place. In comes that Spirit Breaker. Timbersaw going for it. BKB gets popped, going after the Bristleback, but not the best situation to go after the Bristleback. You can't deal enough damage. Slark going to pounce on him. Chakram comes in. They're going for it. Windrunner going to run up onto the high ground, gets forced back immediately. In comes Dust. They're all dusted. Spirit Breaker goes down. Slark pounces, barely missing the Shadow Fiend, still pursuing the Windrunner. She goes down. Meanwhile, Timbersaw going to go after the Bristleback, dealing so much damage. Shadow Fiend turning around, running to the high ground here, trying to get away. The pounce misses ever so slightly from Slark. And in the meantime, Omni Knight comes in here once again, TP out from Timbersaw. Slark now on the run. Goop coming out from Bristleback. Omni Knight just trying to deal whatever damage he can. And a TP in from Lion. Kind of a weird TP in for that matter. Now Omni Knight on the high ground getting man-moded by Axe. Blink in from Lion, going to Earth Spike onto the Slark here. Culling Blade going to end the life of Omni Knight. Now in comes the Shadow Fiend, though. They're chasing the Lion. Guess what? It's Requiem of Souls! Now Axe left running away, and this is why Shadow Fiend is deadly in late game. So much DPS, and Axe is going to drop like a rock. 36-28 in favor of the Radiant. But looking at it, that XP graph still looking like a sine wave graph, though, is slowly decreasing. Gold is staying around the 15,000 mark. Klink's actually trying to solo Roshan. Oh, Shadow Fiend saw him! Shadow Fiend realized what's going on! He runs in! Skeleton Walk immediately. Oh, the wards, they find the Klinks. Does Klinks have any idea that they're there? He's turning around. Is Earthspike gonna catch him? Oh my, this could be very deadly if Earthspike will actually catch him. No, he turns back around, uses the Orchid Malevolence. Roshan goes down to Shadow Fiend. There's the Aegis pickup. Now they're going after him. Goo comes out on Klinks. Earthspike, he just dropped like a rock. So much instantaneous DPS, and Klinks is gonna go down. Not the situation that Klinks was looking for there. Oh dear is what I'm going to say to that. Just oh dear indeed. When your carry is going to get brutally massacred like that, he tried soloing Roshan. He almost got it, but in came Shadow Fiend, in came Bristleback. Now Timbersaw getting caught out. Here's that Goo. Does he have any escape technique? He has Timber Chain. Will it be enough? Yes, it will. He's going to get away from that. And he's going to Chakram to see. He's going to pick up the Haste Rune. Now he comes into mid. Timber Chains onto the trees there, finds the Shadow Fiend. Chakram comes out. Whirling Death comes out, but it's simply not enough to kill the Shadow Fiend anymore. Shadow Fiend's survivability has simply gotten up there high enough. Blade Mail actually up on Timbersaw. I didn't quite notice that. Excuse me. Timbersaw apparently trying to be the most survivably armored hero in the face of the earth at this rate. He's got chain mail, or blade mail. He's got plate mail. He's got more armor than he knows what to bloody well do that with. Plus, not only that, you combine that with reactive armor, and you combine that even more so of blade mail refraction. Oh dear. Slark comes in, pounces onto the Spirit Breaker here. TPN from Shadow Fiend. TPN as well from Timbersaw going right onto them. Spirit Breaker gonna charge the darkness onto the Slark. It's not enough though. Timbersaw coming in, dealing so much damage to Bristleback. Pounce comes out. Shadow Dance as well. In comes Purification. Slark goes down. Windrunner of the support. Power Shot comes out. Going to land on a lot of them. Chocolate dealing so much damage. Axe trying to stay alive in this fight. Now running away. Bristleback coming in. Coil Spray Refraction out on the Lion. Here comes the Shadow Fiend now dealing damage. Eul Scepter comes out, picking up the Axe. In comes Requiem of Souls, hitting Axe head on pretty much. He takes a lot of damage. Timbersaw gonna Timber Chain and gets the kill. Now he needs to run away though. He gets stunned by Greater Bash. Will it be enough? Timber Chain fails. He doesn't make it, and he's gonna get taken down. Not a good day to be Timbersaw right now. Shackle shot in from Windrunner, going to catch both the Spirit Breaker and the Lion. Able to take down the Spirit Breaker is the Clinks, and now they turn right back around. Lion going to blink in, looking for the Earth Spike. It doesn't come out of cooldown. He's actually out of mana for the moment. Eul Scepter from Axe going to pick him up. He turns right around. Battle Hunger. Power Shot going to land almost directly onto the Lion here. Misses the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend, oh, he's so low on health. He's going to Shadow Blade himself out here and just run away. A smart decision. Axe is going to pursue. Battle Hunger coming out again on Lion, and he's simply not running fast enough. Battle Hunger prevents him from blinking. He's probably going to die here. He's going to try and TP out this, but Culling Blade comes in, and nope, not a good time to get Culling Bladed.
You not, fiend.
Oh my, oh my, oh my. Either way right now, I mean, the time is ticking down. We are approaching the 40-minute mark, and it's 39-33 right now. My prediction is slowly coming true at this rate, that the Dire, they simply had a more late-game oriented team, and the Radiant, they failed to close the game early on. And now, their chance of actually closing this game, their chance of winning this game, period, is decreasing, and it is decreasing rapidly. He has a Daedalus now. Shadow Fiend has a bloody Daedalus, and a Sanjin Yasha. He is, I mean, he's going to deal enough damage to murder the Murrow. Timber Chain from Timbersaw. BKB already came out. Axe is there in support. Refraction comes out as well as Purification onto the Spirit Breaker. He's going to fall back. Omni Knight still pursuing. Axe goes down. Battle Hunger going to get purged. Timbersaw going to Timber Chain his way out of there, and he's going to stay alive for the time being. But either way, now it's 39-34. They didn't get a kill out of that. They pushed on the enemy jungle, and instead they got killed.
Dire's bottom barracks
My oh
are under
my.
attack.
Not a good day to be the Radiant right now. Meanwhile, down in bot lane, Lion actually going to get caught out. Omni Knight comes in. Shadow Fiend trying to deal as much damage as possible. Timber Chaining right into the base. Timbersaw anyway. Refraction comes out. Will it be enough? The Aegis gets popped. Now Timbersaw has to get out. He needs to run away. He's getting body blocked by Omni Knight. So well done by Omni Knight. Is Shadow Fiend going to come back in? Yes, he is. Omni Knight's still body blocking. Going to Timber Chain his way onto the high ground. Taking so much crit damage from Shadow Fiend. Shadow Blade comes out pursuing. Timbersaw going to Timber Chain his way back onto the low ground. He's not going to have boots to travel for 20 seconds. He's just trying to stay alive. Omni Knight gets caught out by the Klings, and Shadow Fiend's just going to retreat very intelligently. Buyback from Bristleback. They're going to try and push the high ground. Could this be GG with 3 players down? Do they have buyback? No buyback on any of them. Tower's taking damage. Glyph gets popped. In comes Bristleback. Goo comes out on the Klings here. Shadow Fiend is down in bot lane. Now heading towards mid. Spirit Breaker about to come in, up. He's going to pretty much charge the darkness the moment he can. In comes Shadow Fiend. Are we going to see a Requiem? We are going to see a Requiem! No, he cancels it at the last moment. Very nice Delta split from the enemy team. And there's that charge of darkness landing onto the Windrunner. Nether Strike occurs as well. Windrunner goes down. Clinks goes down, dropping the gem. It gets picked up by Bristleback. And now, not only that, it's a Bristleback with a gem. Holy shit, good luck killing him. As if Bristleback wasn't hard enough to kill now. I'm sorry, he's got a Vanguard. He's got a Heaven's Halberd. He's going to have more survivability than you know what to do with. Now another 4 minutes until Roshan comes back up. Shadow Fiend rotating down to grab the regen rune. We are now approaching the 41-minute mark, and it's 43 to 37. Only a 6-kill difference right now, and those 6 kills can easily, and I mean it, easily be made up by the Dire in this situation. They just have to be careful about it. They can't lose engagements like they did. They lost their bot T3 tower. They still have the racks. Meanwhile, mid T3 tower is taking a lot of damage. It's almost down. Realistically, the Radiant, they still have a chance at this. They just have to play it very carefully. They need to win a team fight. Not only that, they need to brutally win a team fight. They can't lose a single hero in it, and they need to take that Rax. They need to push a lane. They need to get a lane. They need to have mega creeps, essentially. And once they do that, the lane is going to perma-push, and it's going to give them just a better shot at winning this game. But right as it stands, if they don't win a major team fight, if they can't take Rax, if they can't take a lane, then in that case, they're simply going to outright lose, in my opinion. Earth Spike comes in. Timbersaw's caught out. He's still stunned. Nether Strike comes out as well. BKB keeping him alive right now. In comes Lion with the Finger of Death. Windrunner goes down. He's already spent Timber Chain. Chakram goes down. Now he's still running. Refraction's up on Bristleback. Will it be enough? No. Timbersaw's going to get taken down on the run. Now they rotate right around mid. Bristleback chasing after the axe, and they're just not going to pursue at all, and that's a loss of 2. A loss of 2 already. Yule Scepter going to pick up the Omni Knight. In comes the Slark pouncing on. Shadow Dance comes out. Will it be enough? Bristleback has the gem, so simply no is the answer. Now Slark has to run away. Clinks comes in. He gets spotted out. Shadowfiend pursuing the crit. Pretty much one-shots him alongside another crit. Now Slark gets caught out. The DPS, the raw DPS of Shadowfiend. Blink out. Not enough to keep Lion alive. He gets taken down by Axe. Axe himself goes down. And now Shadowfiend declaring easy game. Oh my. 45 to 42, and Shadowfiend is declaring GG.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Bristleback, oh dear. Apparently Spirit Breaker does not deserve to win, apparently.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Either way,
attack.
mid T2 tower is taking damage. And this is going to be the first T2 tower to die for the Dire. That is, if it actually dies. Yep, Shadowfiend going to be the one to finish it off here. Bristleback still deep in enemy territory. Now they rotate. BKB comes out on the Timbersaw. Bristleback trying to stay alive, trying to deny as much damage as possible. Doing a great job. Whirling Death going to get completely nullified. Shadow Blade from Shadowfiend going to keep him well alive in this fight, and he's going to continue going in. Bristleback going way too far in here. He needs to retreat while he can. Now he gets caught up by Chakram once again. I don't think he's going to be able to survive this. He's taking so much damage. Timberchain going to deal just a little bit more. And Chakram going to get the final kill. Or Windrunner actually going to get the final kill. But look at this. Look at this bloody Shadowfiend. He has a Butterfly. He has a Sanjin Yasha. He has a Daedalus. He has more damage than he knows what to do with. Really, he's going to have more damage than this. More crits than this. As if he had... I mean... The only way he's going to do that is if he had a Divine Rapier at this point, and he'd be silly to do that. He just doesn't have the survivability to do that, so... Meanwhile, down in bot lane, Spirit Breaker getting caught out by that axe. In comes Clinks, and I think this might be a dead Spirit Breaker. One crit lands, Purification comes in from Omni Knight. Now Omni Knight's going to be dead as well if they don't get out of there. Timber Chaining from Timbersaw, Culling Blade from Axe. And indeed, Lion rotated in here, not a good time. His Shadow Blade, or no, his invisibility keeping alive temporarily. But he is going to get taken down in the end of things, and that's not what you're looking for. A 4-5 team wipe. The Radiant are going to push this once again. Omni Knight going to buy back. Shadowfiend is still alive in mid lane. And they're going to go for Rax right now. Unfortunately, they can't backdoor this, and they're trying to. Not a good situation to get yourself caught into. Now Shadowfiend comes in. The raw damage output, so much. Axe is going to go down. Now they rotate around. Slark going to pounce on Spirit Breaker. Will it be enough? Earth Spike going to keep him alive. In comes the Requiem of Souls. Now he's going to try to turn around Timbersaw. So much survivability, but it's just not enough, and he's going to get taken down. And another gem going to get dropped. Or, well, the gem, more correctly, as Spirit Breaker, Bristleback, excuse me, did drop it there. Just got picked back up once again, and now it just got picked up once again by the Dire. The XP graph now looking like a sine wave. The gold graph going back the other direction. And right now, if you are the Radiant, this is not a good situation. It's 45 minutes. And as we approach that 15-minute mark, things are just slowly turning against them. As long as the Dire don't fuck up, the Dire are going to be winning this. They need to win team fights. As long as they're winning team fights, they're winning this. Bottom T2 tower now starting to take damage. It's going to drop like a rock, basically. And they're going to continue pushing right onto T3. There's still another 10 seconds until Timbersaw comes back, and right now, Clinks is the only one rotating back. Not only that, but purple Windrunner almost got caught out there. She's going to be forced to TP back to the main base. Now bot 3 T3 tower taking damage. Klink's going to rotate in here trying to clear the creep wave. Refraction out, or repel out on the Shadow Fiend. Tower goes down. In comes the Timbersaw. Chakram leading. Lion gets hit by it. He's still backing off. No Timber Chain as yet. There's the Timber Chain missing completely. Shadowfiend's still in the fight here. Dust comes out. Now Shadowfiend's taking damage. Earthspike gonna keep him out of that temporarily. Axe taking so much damage. Gets picked up by Yule's Scepter. Now in comes the Spirit Breaker. Gets the kill on Windrunner. She's gonna buy back. Axe goes down. Timbersaw trying to stay alive. Whirling Death comes in. Oh, that's a ward drop. A weird ward drop, but either way. Shadowfiend gonna get pounced on here. Is he seen? I don't think he can't see him. Requiem of Souls comes out dealing so much damage. Trying to kill the Omni Knight. Purification comes out, and now Blade Mail trying to keep the Timbersaw alive. He's going to Timber Chain onto the high ground. Shadowfiend turns right back around, just one-shot Windrunner. Timbersaw, Timber Chain back onto the low ground. He changes target, goes after the Clinks, gets the kill, and now Timbersaw trying to stay alive here. TP in from Bristleback. Oh dear, already the ranged barracks had gone down. Now the melee barracks goes down. That's mega melee and range creeps in that lane. BKB gets popped by Timbersaw trying to stay alive. Will it be enough? Shiva's Guard gets popped. No, it will not. Timbersaw's going to go down. Omni Knight stays alive, pops in on himself. Buildings are going down. They're going straight for the GG push. They're going straight for the T4 towers here. They're taking so much damage. 15 seconds until anyone comes up. And at this point, it's got to be GG. It's simply, I mean, what can you do? Do you have any buyback? You have 2 buybacks now. No, 1 buyback is the other one is Shadow Fiend. They have no buyback to use. 1 T4 is already down. Second T4 goes down. Ancient's taking damage. Can Axe do anything? He's in the base. He's not moving out. Ancient's going down. And that's going to be GG.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire victory.
A 47-minute game, and in the end of it, I mean, the Radiant had so much potential aggression early on, and they applied so much aggression. They took tower after tower. But as the game went on, Slark's effectiveness wore off, and Shadowfiend just proved that he's a harder carry than Klink's. And that became a problem late game, where Klink's just could not carry the team hard enough, and Slark was essentially nullified. He couldn't do anything. His pounce was his most useful ability, and it just didn't carry them through fights anymore. And Timbersaw's DPS, don't even get me started on Timbersaw's DPS. That just wasn't enough in its own regard. Either way, folks, as for a quick state of affairs with the channel, as far as I can tell, nothing to really report. We're going to continue with Duck Soup Gaming coverage. Continue watching this channel if you appreciate this, because, hey, you support me, you support what I do, and, hey, I appreciate that completely. Either way, my name has been PankzTV, guys, and I will see you tomorrow night.